For many families, the moment they questioned their tap water didn't come from a report or a headline, it came from something small that didn't feel right. Maybe it was a strange taste, a different smell, or a situation that made them pause and think, what are we actually drinking every day? Tap water has always been seen as reliable. It's available, affordable, and regulated. Most people grow up assuming it's safe by default. But over time, that assumption has started to change. More families are no longer taking water quality for granted. Not because of one single reason, but because of a combination of small concerns that gradually add up. And once that doubt appears, it tends to grow. The first issue is consistency. Water treatment facilities are designed to meet safety standards, and in many cases, they do. But those standards are based on averages and acceptable limits, not perfection. That means water can technically be safe while still containing trace levels of substances people would rather avoid. And more importantly, the quality isn't always the same from one place to another. Two neighborhoods in the same city can have different experiences depending on the condition of their local infrastructure. The age of the pipes, the materials used, and how often systems are maintained all play a role. This is where the second issue comes in: delivery. Water doesn't go straight from the treatment plant into your glass. It travels through a network of pipes, sometimes for miles, before reaching your home. In older areas, those pipes may be decades old. Over time, they can corrode, develop buildup, or even leach small amounts of material into the water. Even inside homes, plumbing systems vary. The pipes behind your walls could affect the water you drink every day, and most people rarely think about them. So while the source may be treated, the final result can still change along the way. For some families, this realization is enough to make them reconsider. Then there's the third issue: visibility. Water is clear most of the time. It looks clean, and because we can't easily see what's in it, we tend to assume everything is fine. But clarity doesn't always mean purity. Some substances are invisible. Some don't affect taste or smell at all. And without testing, it's difficult to know exactly what's present. This uncertainty is what pushes many people to explore alternatives. At first, the most obvious option is bottled water. It seems straightforward. It's sealed, labeled, and widely available. For many, it feels like a safer choice. But over time, families begin to notice the downsides. The cost adds up quickly, especially for larger households. Storage becomes inconvenient. And there's also the question of whether bottled water is truly different, or just processed and packaged tap water. This leads to another common path: filtration systems. There are many types available, from simple pitcher filters to more advanced systems installed under the sink. These can improve taste and reduce certain contaminants. However, they come with their own challenges. High-quality systems can be expensive. Installation may require effort or professional help. Filters need to be replaced regularly. And not all systems remove the same substances. So while filtration can help, it doesn't always feel like a complete solution. At this point, families often reach a turning point. They're no longer comfortable relying entirely on tap water. But they also don't want to depend on costly or complicated alternatives. What they're really looking for is something else: control. The ability to understand and manage what they're drinking, without relying fully on external systems. This shift in thinking is important, because it moves the focus away from "is tap water safe?" and toward a more practical question: how can we improve the water we use every day in a way that's simple and consistent? Some families start exploring basic improvements they can make at home. They look into ways to reduce contaminants, adjust water properties, or create a more reliable source within their own space. One concept that often comes up is water ionization. This process separates water into different components using an electrical current, allowing for changes in pH levels. While opinions vary on its benefits, the idea reflects a broader trend: people are looking for ways to actively manage their water, not just consume it. And importantly, they're looking for solutions that don't require large investments or complex systems. That's why simpler, more accessible approaches are gaining attention. Methods that use basic materials, setups that can be assembled at home, systems that are easy to understand and maintain. Not because they are perfect, but because they offer something many traditional options don't: independence. The key insight here is not that tap water is always unsafe. It's that relying on a single source, without understanding or control, no longer feels sufficient for many families. And once that perspective changes, behavior changes too. People start asking better questions. They pay attention to details they used to ignore. They compare options more carefully. They look for ways to reduce uncertainty in everyday life. Stopping tap water consumption isn't always a dramatic decision. For most families, it's gradual. It starts with curiosity, moves into doubt, and eventually becomes a decision to try something different. Not out of fear but out of a desire for consistency and control. And that's what defines the shift we're seeing today. This isn't about rejecting tap water entirely. It's about recognizing its limitations and choosing how much you want to depend on it. Because in the end, water is something you use every day. Small changes in how you source and manage it can have long-term effects not just on cost, but on peace of mind. If this topic made you rethink your current setup, there's a resource in the description that outlines a simple approach some people are using to create a more controlled water system at home. It focuses on clarity and practicality, so you can review how it works and decide if it fits your situation. And if you want more content like this clear, structured breakdowns of everyday systems that most people overlook, consider subscribing. Because understanding how things work is the first step to improving them.